Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Tuesday afternoon video, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button in my pants down in the description box below. And you can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, or now, or in the future, Conan. So do that, but don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, blocked, hidden, and placed in an Iron Maiden, and then Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul! So, don't do that. You want to do that, go to your dead channel that nobody watches. You have very small subs, and all that other shit that nobody cares about. So do it over there, because you ain't going to do it on mine. And if you don't like getting blocked every single time, then go somewhere else. But you won't, because you have nothing better to do than just over me. So, it is what it is. If that's going to be the rest of your life, then you have no future. The way it is. But anyway, for everybody else who wants to leave a comment, a smart comment about the topic at hand, you can do that. And that's pretty much it. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Because if you do, you're pretty much SOL. You better know what that means by now, because I'm not going to tell you again. Or just look it up. And that's it. And don't forget to share the video all over the internet. And tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. If you miss anything, oh, you missed it. So, that's that. Alright, so once again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you wish. That's it. Let me move on with that. Alright, we are done with Labor Day weekend, and now we're on the countdown to the final days of summer. Got about 2 weeks left. I think it starts, on the 19th or 20th, somewhere around. I think it's about 2 weeks away. Just put that there, about 2 weeks. And then we'll begin the beautiful season of fall. And right around the corner is Halloween. And then after that, the holiday season, Thanksgiving, and the greatest month in the world. You know it, you love it. December is coming up with the greatest days and birthdays and people that celebrate those birthdays in December coming up in just about 3+ months. So, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty time, you know. So, just gotta get through, the next 4 weeks of September, and then the spooky month of October, and then we get into Thanksgiving month, and then basically the greatest month in the world of December. And then pretty soon, level 49 will commence, and then 2025 says bye-bye. And then we usher in 2026. And I'll be here throughout the rest of the year, because I ain't going anywhere yet. But we'll see what happens with that. But all this month and next month is a definite. And we'll see what happens as we get to November. It might be a little bit dicey with my schedule, but we'll see. Because I do have a lot of things coming up in November. So, a couple concerts coming up. Some other things might be coming up. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, September the 2nd, 2025. Hoping you have all you had, or having a great Tuesday, and if not, well, too bad for you. That's that. I'm having a pretty good Tuesday. Had to make some calls out of work. Do other things. But pretty much done for the day. I'm going to be eating my lunch pretty soon with the missus. Might be going out to lunch. And then come back. Maybe rest up till NXT tonight. Should be an interesting show as we're on the road to No Mercy. Coming up on the 27th. We've got 25 days away, so a little over 3 weeks till till NXT's next pay-per-view, No Mercy. So we got that. Really looks like we're gonna get Ricky Starks and Oba the Buddha from Wakanda, Femi, for the NXT World Title. So we'll see what happens with that. I think tonight is from. I think this is tonight. I'm not sure if it's tonight or it's coming up. NXT going back to old school Full Sail University. It's sold out, which is great. So we'll see what happens with NXT tonight on the CW11. Watch it. And that's that. Alright, but before we get through all that, I got a lot of videos coming up today. Hopefully getting 4 videos today. Tomorrow we'll do NXT, and we are going to be doing the NFL preview because football starts on Thursday night, and we got a Friday night game free on YouTube at 8 o'clock, but that's going to go head-to-head with SmackDown. So SmackDown's ratings won't be that great. What are you going to do? But that should be interesting. The Chiefs and the Chargers. The Chiefs are going to wallop them. We got that, and then we got officially on Sunday, the rest of the schedule commences. The Giants and the Commanders at 1 p.m. on Fox. The Jets will be playing on CBS at the same time. So good thing I got picture-in-picture, so I get to watch those games. And then at 4:25, the 49ers take on the Seahawks in Seattle. That game's on Fox. And I believe the Sunday night game is Otaku's Ravens taking on the Bills. That's going to be a good game. Can't wait for that. I'm not going to watch all of it probably, but see what happens with that. And I assume Otaku's going to be watching it from somewhere. And that's that. Well, good luck to his team. Good luck to your teams that you follow. But another season of football commences. Baseball is pretty much almost, is 25 days away from being done, and then the playoffs start. Actually, 26 days, take that back. 26 days. Mets won yesterday, barely, 10-8. Night game tonight in Detroit. That's Detroit. We got the legend, the future legend, Nolan McLean on the mound tonight. See if he can go 4-0. And then we got Clay Holmes tomorrow for the day game, the travel game, and then the Mets go to Cincinnati. Big, huge weekend series, and then after that, another huge series with the Filthies, which could determine the division, pretty much determine the wild card. So about 23, 24 games left. Mets have a 4-game lead over the Reds. A little bit dicey with St. Louis and Arizona, about 5.5 back. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So let's see if the Mets can hold on or put the Reds and everybody else in the rearview mirror as the Mets go, hopefully, for a possible 5th spot. They're 2 games back of San Diego. So you see if San Diego can start stinking up the joint. The Cubs, I believe, are 4 up on the Mets for the first wild card, which means home field. I think the first, well, the first 2 teams, the first 2 seeds get a bye. Then it's pretty much 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but I think the 4, 5, the 4 and 5th seeds get home field advantage for the first couple games. But we'll see what happens with that. As of right now, the playoffs started today. The Mets will face the Dodgers in LA. Not fun. I don't think the Mets have it in them to possibly beat the Dodgers now with Ohtani and that great team they have. But they can be beat. So if the Mets can start firing on all cylinders again, we'll see. And Soto is just going berserk now. 35 home runs. He hit one yesterday. A grand salami with extra Detroit deep dish pizza on it. That was great. Then he got a 2-run triple. Make it. I believe made it 8-6 with 10-6, or whatever it was. But they They almost blew it. Gave up a run in the 7th, run in the 8th, and then Diaz had to come in, and we had to pray. The Metamucil was flowing, but thankfully the Mets won. That's it. They might be getting to 80 wins, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so we got the Mets tonight, Yankees, who gives a shit? And we got that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a great afternoon, and if not, well, too bad. It is time for yours late and out-of-date Monday Night Raw Review for last night, September 1st, the Labor Day edition of Raw, but it was not in the United States. We're still in Paris, France, at La Défense Arena in Paris, Paris, France. We're back in the States on Friday with SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois. And we'll be talking about a certain guy named Phil. And maybe another person named AJ. We'll talk about that in a minute. Alright, our commentary team for Monday Night Raw. Michael Cole and Bad News Wade Barrett. I'm Michael Cole, I got some bad news for you. Michael Cole. Of the legendary botch machine himself, Michael Cole. And we got that. Alright, we're coming out of a Clash in Paris, which saw a lot of stuff happening. John Cena defeated Logan Paul. Cena's going to be on the show on Friday. Could we see Beastie? Because ESPN really wants to have big star power for his first pay-per-view on ESPN+. So thinking John Cena and Beastie one-on-one, that's going to be crazy as fuck. So Beastie might be in Chicago, we'll see. And they're thinking about getting AJ Lee. If she comes, we don't know. But we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And also on the show, Becky Lynch defeated Nikki Smelly Bella to retain her women's Intercontinental title. Then she joined up with her hot husband Seth Rollins as he retained the Raw World title over Jimmy Uso, Eli Drake, that's not an insult, that's a fact of life, and Punky Brewster himself. And now she joins the Vision, so we'll see what happens with that situation. Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, put up your ones, ladies and gentlemen. He smashed, stacked, and pinned Bronson Reed, got his shoes back, but then he paid for it as Braun Breaker and Bronson B&B Security took him out, and tsunami after tsunami after tsunami to him. I'm like, where's Jay in all this? Jay finally comes out like 15 minutes later. He gets tsunami to death. But Roman was taken to a medical facility with fractured ribs and just a mess, basically. But he was written off TV because he's going to film Street Fighter. No return yet. So, there's no way he's going to be at WrestlePalooza. Doubtful he's going to be at, I doubt he's going to be at, Crown Jewel. He might be back for Saturday Night's Main Event in November, because there's two more coming up, I believe, November and December, which is Cena's last match. That's December the 13th. So, Roman should be back by November to build up to War Games in San Diego, November the 29th, I believe. That's 2 days after Thanksgiving. So we got that. So, but yeah. So our tribal chief, taking a little bit of time off, storyline-wise, he got hurt, but reality, he's doing a movie. But he'll be back on our screens and to flood Puerto Rico and Issa's panties. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We got that. Alright, so we start off this show. They still have the Eiffel Tower set, which I loved. I love that set. I can only imagine what the set's going to be for WrestlePalooza. And maybe, NXT No Mercy might have a special set. We don't know that yet, but we'll see. I know Halloween Havoc in October is going to have a special set. That's October the 25th for NXT. So we got that. But as we go to October, Crown Jewel is definitely going to have a new a set in Perth, Australia, because that's where it is. Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to look at that shit. We got that. Cena's got Bound for Glory. I don't know if they're going to have a special set for that. Probably not. Wrestle Dream probably won't have a special set. They should, but they probably won't for AEW. And that's pretty much it. And then Survivor Series should get something in San Diego at Petco Park. Some type of like weird stage and weird set look. Because it's in a stadium basically in San Diego. Where it's gonna be warm-ish. Because it's like late fall. Late fall after Thanksgiving. So they might have that. Full Gear should have something. That's the week before, November the 22nd. And then as we go to December, NXT Deadline coming away. We got Final Battle, not in New York, which pisses me off. That's December the 5th. And then the week after that, Saturday's main event, December the 13th, December the 12th and 13th, with Cena's final match in Boston. So we'll see what happens with that. Then Worlds Collide. Not Worlds Collide, sorry. Worlds End for AEW. That's after Christmas. The weekend after Christmas. So going into the new year. We got that. Nothing for WWE in December. That's it, really. And next Friday starts the every fucking weekend of wrestling pay-per-views. It's insane. So after SmackDown next Friday night, which is live, we're going to Vegas live for Worlds Collide. Hey, that rhymes. So we got SmackDown and then NXT versus Triple A, NXT Worlds Collide 2. Really, it's 3, but it's 2. So it should be some good shit. September the 12th in Vegas. And yes, I will be doing predictions for that and a review. So, check that out coming up next weekend. But let's get into Monday Night Raw. So we get the Eiffel Tower set, long as fuck Clash in Paris recap. And then we see CM Punk. Punky Brewster's waiting outside for Seth freaking Rollins. Alright, he comes. So he's waiting for him to arrive after getting screwed out of the title. And then Adam Pearce comes in. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to wait. As soon as Seth Rollins comes in, I'm going to tell him exactly what I think of him. And shit like that. And Pearce is like, okay. He's like, I'll allow it. We'll get that. Alright, there we go. Inside the arena. And we start off with the Yeet Man, Jey Uso. Takes about 50 minutes to freaking do his fucking entrance. But finally he gets on the mic. He's not happy. When is he ever happy? I know his wife's not happy. Because she caught him cheating with Miss Pucker. If you notice the pictures and video of him and Jada Parker coming out of a restaurant or coming out of the airport, hand in hand almost. Jay, there's something you don't know about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jada Parker. Yeah, if you want Jada Parker, go at it. Go have it, man. Go at it. She got a nice ace. But, for me, I would have went with Lola Vice. Get that Puerto Rican heat. Yes. I know I got my Asians, but I got a thing for Puerto Ricans, too. Lola Vice is my 5th wife actually 6th wife after Julia, so. I gotta stack them up, Asuka, Kairi, Io, Mina! And then Julia, and then we put Lola Vice right there, too. And maybe Tiffany Stratton in the top 10. But, girls wanna fuck! Ba-ba-ba-ba! I'm loving it. And we got that. Alright, so Jay's not happy. He says that he isn't going to run it back tonight. Thank the Lord we didn't get. And then 6 more minutes of that. So he has some medical tape around his waist after the tsunamis he got from Bronson Reed. So he's gonna run Sunday night back, or Sunday afternoon, sorry. And he says the Vision attacked him and Roman, and you never put your hands on his family. Uh-oh. And he wants the Vision out here right now. But do they come out? No, because this guy comes out. Eli Drake. That's not an insult. That's a fact of life. Yeah. All right, so Eli comes out, says, I should be the world heavyweight champion. But instead, I stand here a loser. A loser. Like you, Jay. And some people claim that Jay lives in his cousin's shadow. Nah. Or maybe Roman's, yeah, I can say that, but I was thinking of Jimmy for a second. Jimmy's not his cousin. He's his brother. Anyway, so Eli doesn't know anything about that, but Seth Rollins lives in his wife's shadow. And they could have taken Rollins out last night, putting him through the table, and then all three, Punk, Eli, and Jay could have fought it out. But Jay, you screwed that up because you don't understand. And then Jay's like, oh, all I did is my fault? My fault? My spot, dog spot, liver spot, but my spot, kind of like that. So Eli is sick and tired of being left laying and not being world heavyweight champion. And he tells Jay, if you don't get that, I can pretty much get him up to speed real quick. So they're teasing a match between Eli and Jay. I'm like, okay, we're all for that. And then big Bronson Reed, B&B Security come out with Braun Breaker. They come out. I thought they were suspended. I don't know about that. Maybe Paul E. from the hospital said, get him. The suspension is uplifted. Yeah, because, Heyman got choked out by Roman Reigns, and Roman was in the hospital pretty much was next to him. I would have loved to see that. But it is what it is. Alright, so they come out. Braun says that the only thing we should be concerned about is the health of the wise man, Paul Heyman. No, we're not. We don't care. After Roman choked them out, a fans chant for the OTC. Put up your ones. OTC 1. And then Braun says it means that Heyman isn't here to tell him what to do. And then Bronson Reed brags about the beating they gave to Rowan because the Vision didn't include him. And it doesn't include you or you either. So, you guys are next. Okay, Goldberg. So Eli says, well, Jay, me and you can talk about this later. How about we kick you guys' ass later in the evening? So I'm like, where's Teddy Long when I need him? Player. We got a tag team match, player. And if you don't like that, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. God bless that man. Good old Teddy Long, player. He got more ass than William Yuta. Because William Yuta's the type of guy that doesn't get any ass. Because he doesn't have an ass. What am I sitting on? Your hands, you idiot. Anyway, moving on. Alright, then we get a recap of the issues between my three amazingly hot Asian wives. Asuka! Nobody is ready for Asuka! Except my dick. And we got the beautiful pirate princess herself, wifey number 2, Kylie, saying, or as Asuka would say, Kylie! And then my third amazingly hot Asian wife, Io Sky. I love them. Kyrie always freaking loves to talk to me. She does. I wonder why. Love you, Kyrie. I love all of them. But I digress. Alright, so we see Io in the back trying to make peace with Asuka and Kyrie, and Asuka's like, oh, no, it's fine. He's fine. Apology accepted. And then a heartfelt hug. I'm looking at him. You know she's setting up Io. We know that. Stop fighting over me, please! I'm gonna have to put you down. Not down like that, but put you down the list. I'll bump Io. I'll bump Io. Yeah, I'll bump Io up to number 1. I'll put you at number 3. You stop. We don't have sushi later. No. No, 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 no. No more of... No more of that. You girls stop fighting over me. I mean, there's so much of me to go around as it is. Alright, we got that. Alright, so that leads to, and I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. The first segment with B&B Security, Jey Uso, and Eli, I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. Let me move on. Alright, first match of the night. We have the ladies of the Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez. She's a cutie patootie. Drake Moreau. I don't know how you see anything. How does she see anything in him? I'm just saying. He's like 6 feet tall. She's like 4 something. At least 4'10", 4'11". I mean, if they're, you know, doing their thing, I mean, more power to them, but, you know, Roxy should be with somebody her own size. Me. I'm 5'4", and I can, you know, I wouldn't have to, like, bend down, you know, bend down, Damn, how tall are you? Hey, but if it works, it works. What are you gonna do? I mean, look at Zelina Vega, how her size compares to Aleister Black. But they're married, so... And it works. Damn, Aleister Black. Tommy! Not Tommy. Not that Tommy. It's not Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Budgeon, Tommy N. God damn you, man. Smacking those cheeks with Zelina Vega. Damn it! It should have been me. Damn, if I was Dolph Ziggler right now, I'd be having a good time. I parked the hell out of Isa's car. It was great. You saw that, Brian? My big brother parked the hell out of Isa's car. You saw that? Big brother. I can't wait for Dolph to come back to TNA in about a week or two. See what happens with that. I assume he gets that quote. I don't know if he does, but he should. So if any of you people on YouTube ever talk to Dolph Ziggler, ask him about the parking incident. He'll know what parking incident. Puerto Rico. Talk about Puerto Rico and talk about the car. Don't tell Ryan. Just have Dolph, like, put Ryan goodbye. Ryan fears Marco's Pizza as it is, so... God forbid I meet those two guys. I'm like, oh, you're the guy that tells me he fears Marco? Hey, there's no Marcos in my area, so I don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's probably good pizza, I would assume, but, you know... I eat regular pizza. I don't eat Domino's anymore. Domino's pizza tastes like cardboard pizza. It tastes like shit. And personally, I don't like Papa John's because it tastes like shit. Pizza Hut is okay-ish, but it's not around my area, so I just go local, and I'm happy about it. It's good shit. Good and worth the money. But we move on. Alright, enough about the Nemeth brothers. But hi, guys! Alright, so Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, they team up against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. It was a pretty good match for under 11 minutes. It starts with Asuka and Roxanne starting things off. Asuka knocks poor Roxanne to the floor. Then Raquel comes in, who gets pulled into a choke. Then Asuka with the octopus. Raquel gets out of that. Then Kairi comes in for some double kicks. And then the choke over the ropes has Raquel in more trouble. But then she gets the tag to Roxanne Perez, gets taken out with a head scissors takeover. And then a pin gets broken up, and Roxanne takes Kairi outside for a whip into the barricade. Ow! We go to break, come back. Roxy splashes Kairi in the corner. And then Kairi gets the tag to Asuka, who strikes her way at Roxanne until Raquel hits a clothesline. And then Roxy adds a spinning knee to the back of the head. Ow. Before Kairi and Raquel fights to the floor. Nasty. Asuka tries for the Asuka lock. It gets counted into a fruit roll-up for a near fall. Before Asuka and her sexy hip attack attacks Raquel back on the outside of the ring. And then Roxy tries for pop rocks. Can't hit it. And then they're like there's like some miscommunication, like, oh, what spots are we supposed to do? So kind of like, the ending kind of like, what are we doing here? And then Asuka hits a spin wheel kick, which barely hit. Not a botch, per se, but because Asuka doesn't botch a lot. Unlike Nikki Bella. Alright, so she hits that spin wheel kick, and then she locks Roxanne Perez in the Asuka lock. Roxanne taps out in under 11 minutes. Match was alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. And then afterwards, Kairi and Asuka, dancey, they're doing the tango. Can I come in? Can I dance with you, ladies? Maybe later. Maybe later we'll dance. In another way, if you know what I mean. But we got that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get the big announcement from Adam Pearce, who told Stephanie Vaquer La Primera that you still have your title shot, and I'm gonna sort out this vacant Raw Women's Championship. So give me a week, and I'll let you know what's going on. So Adam Pearce announces that Stephanie Vaquer will fight for the vacant title against Io Sky. And I'm like, yes! So Mommy Rhea Ripley a little bit pissed, among other people. So anyway, Stephanie Vaquer versus Io, I believe it's the third match, because the last time Stephanie and Io were in the ring, chaos happened and no winner. So we got that. That's going to be at WrestlePalooza. So that's our first official match of the pay-per-view. We'll see what happens with that. Should be a great match. I think Stephanie was in line to win the belt anyway, since she won the tournament. Well, yeah, she thinks she won the tournament of Gauntlet to be #1 contender. She was going to face Naomi, but Naomi got knocked up. What are you going to do? I thought that maybe they'd do like a fatal 4-way for the belt. You'll put somebody else in, like put Io, Stephanie, Mommy Rhea Ripley, maybe as a triple threat, or they put in somebody from the Raw roster, like maybe Asuka or something like that. We get a 4-way for the vacant title, but a 1-on-1 is even better, because I guess the next person in line would be Mommy Rhea Ripley. So we could see La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer versus Mommy Rhea Ripley, maybe as we go to Perth, Australia, which it sets itself up. So whoever wins the title will face Mommy Rhea Ripley in her home country of Australia at Crown Full, which will be 2 weeks after that. So we get that, but I can't wait. Stephanie and Io, we're finally going to get a winner here. I think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer. But I would love to see Io and Mommy Rhea Ripley 5, 6, I don't even know what's up to now. But do it again like they did at Evolution. Give me one more match between them, and maybe Mommy finishes her story, Jordan. You know? I mean, Mommy finally beats Io for the belt. So it could go 2 ways. Io versus Mommy in the final title shot. or title match for Mommy. She has to beat Io, then maybe Io gets a rematch, W numbers like 6 or 7, whatever it is. But I think logically, since I said they're going to be in Australia, Stephanie Verkur versus Mommy in Perth, Australia. That would be a great match. I think Stephanie will retain there, because it'll make no sense to have her win and then 2 weeks later lose the belt. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so good announcement there by my boy, Adam Pearce. Puts my girl in a title match. Good job, Adam. Good job. Now I don't have to block you on Twitter. But we move that. And that would be official. Alright, then we go to our next match. Fiend Balor with JD McDonut, Dumbfuck, at ringside. He takes on Dragon Lee, who comes out by himself. Such great people in the LWO don't even come out with their own people. Come on now. Alright, it wasn't a bad match. Under 10 minutes. The fans were going crazy as Balor took Dragon Lee down by the arm, and then Balor drops him with an elbow to face. Dragon Lee comes back with a springboard wrist drag out of the corner. Then a slingshot drop kick gets in their fall, and Finn is sent to the floor for a running flippy doo-doo-doo. As we go to break, come right back. Dragon Lee fights out of a simple headlock, kicks Balor right in the face. Ow. Then a sit-up powerbomb gives Dragon Lee a near fall, but then Fiend Balor pulls him off the top rope, goes up top, hits the coup de grace, 1, 2, 3, in under 10 minutes. Fiend Balor gets the win over Dragon Lee, and the fans were going nuts, and Balor's like, that French crowd was just amazing. All weekend long. Friday at SmackDown, they were epic. And then Clash in Paris, they were epic, especially for the AJ Dom match. Last night for AJ and Dom, for Cena, for everybody. It was electric in France. And, for AJ's purposes, I hope AJ has his final match in Paris, because they love him there. Love him like he's Jesus. Jesus Christ the Lord! The Lord of Jesus Christ the Lord! Hallelujah! The new day! Oh, no. Sorry. Alright, so we get that. Alright, so Finn Balor, Dragon Lee, I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Not a bad match. Let me move on. Alright, then we go to the back, where we see Io, Sky, Asuka, and Kairi. They're talking amongst themselves, and then Nikki Smelly Smeller Slut Bella comes in, interrupts. You don't interrupt that. Come on, Nikki, you know that. Anyway, so Nikki's not pleased, because you got beat by Becky Lynch, and there's some backstage heat on Nikki because of her demeanor and her attitude. I guess she didn't want to lose to Becky. Too bad. You don't like it? Leave. We don't want you back. Get out of here. Anyway, so she's not pleased. She leaves. And then the Kabuki Warriors say they helped Io. Io's like, I want to help you. Or something like that. And, I think it was Io and Asuka going back and forth. And then Asuka's like, we helped you win at SummerSlam. So Io's like, well, help me at WrestlePalooza. No, Asuka's like, well, you didn't need our help to win at SummerSlam, so we will not help you at WrestlePalooza, or something like that. And then Io's pissed. I'm telling you, I think Asuka's gonna screw Io out of the title, and then that crown jewel will probably get Io versus Asuka. And those promos, you know those Japanese promos are coming up. I can't wait. Baka! Bitch! Asuka-san! Oi! Would you not see that? Or something like that. I don't know. I do know Japanese. I don't know much of it, but I'm learning. You don't believe me? Go to my PG Ranch channel, and I have some shorts talking in Japanese. So, get that. Alright, there you see. Dominic Guerrero, let's see. The Intercontinental Champion, that's Eddie's son, Eddie. That's your son. The champ. That's my son, that's it. The champion of champions. I love my son. He's the fruit of my loins, ese perro. He's doing very good. Very good. Yes, he has that mullet hair that he used to have back in WCW. Oh, I love his hair. He's never going to go to a barber ever again. I don't know about that, but okay. Can I go to his barber? If you go to everyone you want. Okay. Alright, so he wants the Judgment Day to help him out against AJ. And Adam Pearce is like, nope, not going to do that. Nobody and everybody is banned from the ring. We're going to do this one-on-one. What do you think about that, Eddie? Dom doesn't need those people. He can do it all by himself because he's my son. Okay. He's gonna fight and cheat and steal, and he will still be Chop. Well, we'll see. What's gonna happen if he wins? Oh, we're gonna go to Applebee's and have some chicken tenders and some sangria and stuff. Can I come? Oh, you're invited all the time. Okay, thank you. Chicken tendies, I like. From Applebee's is good stuff. When you go to Applebee's, guys, get the chicken tenders and say, I want the Dominic Guerrero chicken tenders. They probably won't know what you're talking about. It's like, just give me chicken tenders. Give me some chicken tendies with some barbecue sauce or whatever sauce you like. I like barbecue sauce. And just go to town on them with a nice little side of fries and a nice good drink. Eddie gets it with, what do you get it with? You get it with sangria? Sangria! I love sangria. I like tequila too sometimes, I gotta have a stiff drink with China every once in a while, They have Applebee's up there. Goes to the bar. He goes to the bar and hangs out. You hang out there, right? I always hang out at the bar. I gotta, sit away from people, they say. That guy, what's his name? Jack New Jack. That guy creeps me out, they say, pero. He does. Gotta stay away from Jerome. Jerome's, kind of like, What you say, motherfucker? Oh, Jerome, not now. I say you're a very nice guy, and Eddie likes you too. Eddie Guerrero's a legend. I like him too. I don't care if I'm on the cocaine now. That motherfucker is a great legend. That's right. You better respect the legends, there, Jerome. I'm gonna put you through a table. 'Cause I'm awesome, and I don't like you. Mike, calm down. Say hi to Eddie. Hi, Eddie! Okay. Hey, Pedro. Okay. Alright, go have fun, go have lunch, guys. It's on me. Get out of here. Mike, you can have the chicken tendies, okay? I ordered the chicken tendies for you. I love those chicken tenders. They're not as awesome as me, but, I like them. Do you like the barbecue sauce? It's okay. Well, you don't, what do you use? Use ranch? Ranch sucks. Especially on pizza. Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, God. Ranch pizza tastes like, It's like worse than having pineapple on pizza. Yeah, but what about that Hawaiian pizza? They don't count because it's made by Hawaiians. Yeah, but it's in an Italian restaurant. They make that. Not always. But religiously, my pineapple should never go on pizza because it's a tradition. I like traditional pizza like you like traditional ass kicking, putting people through tables, like that Japanese guy that you don't like. Don't say his name! Okay, I won't say it. But pizza is pizza like pussy is pussy. What are you gonna do? Alright, Mike, say goodbye. Bye! Okay, you Jack. Jerome! What do you want, motherfucker? Say goodbye. Bye, motherfucker. Okay, take that sight with you. Eddie, say goodbye. Adios, mamacitas and muchachos. Bye-bye. Okay, tell Joni I said hello. Thank you. Alright, moving on. And I did not disrespect the dead. I paying tribute. You think that? Fuck you! What's that? Alright, so Dom Dom wants some help. Adam Pearce like, nope. And I think we saw a little smile from Finn. We got that. Alright, then we get to our 6-man tag team match. We got the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston! They team up with I Did It, Grayson Waller, as they take on Eric and Ivar of War Machine and Pentagon Zero. He's a smooth operator. Okay. So we move on with that. Alright, 6-man tag. Man, it wasn't great. It's also with Pentagon sending Grayson Waller and Kofi to the apron to start, but it's too early for a Canadian Destroyer on Xavier Woods, who kinda, sorta, broke his neck. Anyway, then Eric and Ivar take him down on the floor. Pentagon then adds a flippy dibbity-doo. As we go to break, he does this little slow walk. Alright, we come back. Eric's in trouble because, as always, ladies and gentlemen, when we go to break, the heels come back. Alright, so Eric's in trouble. Kofi starts doing the strut, the Pentagon strut a little bit. Not great, but anyway. Pisses off Pentagon. Eric fights his way out of trouble, gets the hot tag to Ivar, who fires off some seated splashes in the corner. Ow. Grayson avoids one of them, and then everything starts to break down. Grayson tries his rolling stunner and gets knocked completely out. And then a belly-to-back suplex / splash combination crushes Xavier Woods, and then poor Xavier gets hit again with the Mexican Destroyer by Pentagon. 1, 2, 3 in under 9 minutes. Pentagon and War Machine get the win over the New Day and I Did It, Grayson Waller. Match was meh. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And we move on. Alright, then we see Mommy Rhea Ripley, my brutality! She wants the women's title back, but then, once again, the Kabuki Warriors come out, Asuka and Kairi, and basically Asuka gets right in Mommy's face. I'm like, oh, yes, take my money. So Asuka and Kairi, they don't want her around Io, but Mommy Rhea Ripley doesn't get what's so bad about me and her being friends. So then Asuka's like, stay out of our business and stay away from Io. And then she starts repeating her name. It's like, oh, Io. Then she starts pushing Rhea Ripley. Uh-oh. And then Rhea's like, you don't want to do that. Try me. And then they kind of like stare each other down. I'm like, yeah, set it up for WrestlePalooza. Yee. Alright, so Mommy Rhea Ripley and Asuka have a fight. Asuka leaves. Kairi's trying to, play peacemaker. And then we hear, Kairi! Kairi has to, skedaddle. So, like, half the show was like Asuka and Kairi. It just felt great. And Io, too, in between. Good shit. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, see what happens with that. And like I said, I think we're going to get Io. Well, we got Io and Stephanie for the Raw Women's Championship. I think we're going to get Mommy Rhea Ripley and Asuka. And that could play into the to the next opponent. So, for a crown jewel. So I think Mommy will beat Asuka, which will piss me off. I mean, Stephanie beating Io, that'll piss me off because Io lost another title match. And then, Asuka's gonna lose, and just Kairi's just gonna be there like, I might have to console Kairi after because like, Wifey number 1 and wifey number 3, got beat. What am I supposed to do? Give me a Kairi. I'll make it all better. And we'll waste some money. Move on. Alright, then we see Roxanne Perez asking Adam Pearce why she's not in the WrestlePalooza title match. So Adam Pearce points out that her and Raquel Rodriguez just lost. But they'll think about it after WrestlePalooza. So it might be something after that. We'll see. And then the Lassie Beach from Ireland, Lighted Up Valkyria. We haven't seen her in a while. Taking some time off, I guess. She comes in, gets into an argument with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. And then those lovely ladies leave, and then Adam Pearce tells Lyra that Bayley, give me a hug. She'll be back soon after, her woohoo. Trying to find out who the fuck she is. And then Lyra's like, that's it? That's all you got? So she wants a match with Judgment Day. So Adam Pearce makes it for next week. And, okay. So, I don't know who Lyra's facing. I assume it'll be Roxanne Perez. So we got that next week in wherever city we're going to be in next week for Raw. And we got that. Adam Pearce, do you need a stiff drink? Hey, with all those ladies around, you got a stiff dick. Probably not. If it was me, gotta hose me down. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to Dominic Gargano SC defending the Intercontinental title against the phenomenal AJ Bad Hair Styles. AJ Styles' hair was made from escargot, French fries, and good old-fashioned French wine. That's how great his hair looked. AJ got a big, huge reaction. And it's still going after the break. AJ's like, my people. He never got that big an ovation, even in TNA. Or in a little bit in Japan. They love him in Japan, too. Anyway. Alright, so it's also with Dom Dom. He jumped him at the start when the bell rang. AJ fights back, sends Dom Dom to the outside. Big flippy dippity doo connects as we go to another break. Why not? We come right back. AJ continues to beat down, including a sliding forearm to set up the Fireman's Carry backbreaker, the Ushigoroshi, for a near fall. Then a head scissors out of the corner by Dom, sends AJ to the floor, and then Dom drops him with a baseball slide. He was safe! And then Dom goes for a Hurricane Run and gets countered into a power bomb on the announcer's table. Ow! And it didn't break. I am the table! We go to another break. We come right back with an exchange of forearms until AJ grabs a neck breaker for a near fall. Goes for the Styles Clash. It gets counted into the Mullet-O-Matic. I guess that's like Edge's move, Edge-O-Matic, but Dom Dom renamed it the Mullet-O-Matic. Okay, nice touch there, Dom. Alright. He gets a near fall out of that. And then AJ is sent into the ring post. Ow! And then Dom with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. And then he picks him up, hits the Eddie Guerrero, his dad, the Three Amigos. And then he hits the Eddie Guerrero frog splash. You like that, Eddie? That was great, S.A. That's my son. I taught him all of that. He doesn't do it better than me, but he's great. We got that. Alright. Alright, so he hits that for a near fall. To get back up, AJ hits a quick Styles Clash. Goes for the cover, and Dom Dom was right on the ropes. Dumb move by AJ. Dom got his foot on the rope. Then AJ goes outside to load up the phenomenal forearm, but then, Grande Germanicano! Ludwig Spears comes out. I don't know, or I think he came out from the crowd or underneath the ring. And he beats up AJ. Then he loads up his mask with that metal piece in there. Boom! Right into the ribs. Ow! Of AJ. And then he kind of just throws him in. Referee didn't even see it. Because he's worried about Dom. And then Dom goes up top, hits another Eddie Guerrero frog splash. 1, 2, 3 in 16 minutes. And still, your reigning, defending, Intercontinental Champion of the World, Mr. Dominic Guerrero S.A. So, we'll see what happens with Dom next week. He does have that Triple A Mega title match against El Hijo de Vikingo next Friday night at Worlds Collide. I hope Dom wins that, because he got screwed at Triple Mania by AJ. Bastard. So see what happens with that. But now it kind of pivots to AJ and Ludwig Spears, which I think will be good. We'll see what happens with that. That could be a good match at WrestlePalooza. We got that. Alright, great match. 3.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, sadly, we get a look back at Roman Reigns, our Tribal Chief, getting destroyed by Big Bronson Reed and pretty much Braun Breaker and the Vision after the match. So we got that. We find out that he was taken to a medical facility. He has fractured ribs. And he's out indefinitely. But we all know he's coming back at Survivor Series. So we got that. We move on. Alright, we go to the back with Eli Drake. He's all ready to do whatever it takes to get the World Heavyweight title. If that means going through Jey Uso, so be it. And then Jey Uso, it says they'll make this work. He loads up the catchphrases. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. But Eli says, 4 words, 4 letters, 1 word, yeah. Alright, so we got that. So I get a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go outside where CM Punk was, and Mommy Rhea Ripley comes up to him, and they talk, but then Adam Pearce comes in and says Seth Rollins is in the building. How did he get past, like, CM Punk was, like, right there, right at the entranceway. Did he go in the back way? Maybe. So anyway. So, Pearce comes in and says Seth Rollins is in the building. And he's like, I don't know how he got in the building. Probably from the back. So, Punk's like, I'm going to go handle him in the ring. And then Adam Pearce is like, and what does that mean? What do you think, you dummy? Anyway, we got that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a video on Alexander Rusev. Rusev smashed on our pussy! Yeah! Alright, so we saw what happened with him beating Sheamus in that hellacious Donnybrook match at the Clash of Paris. He's happy with the win over Sheamus. He should be. He should be. He needed that win. Not so much Sheamus per se, but I think Rusev needed that win. And now, see where he goes. Maybe a date with Dominic Guerrero for the Intercontinental title. Maybe he gets into the world title picture. We'll see. What else with that? Alright, it's time for Punky Brewster. He comes out, wants Seth Rollins to come out right here, right now, but he wants them to go man on man, and, well, the other man comes out. The man, Becky Lynch. Becky. She comes out, says, well, might not be the man you were looking for, but I'm the man you're dealing with. So Punk says, I'm not doing this. I want your husband out here right now. But then Becky's like, I'm not going to even let you leave the ring. And she's like, I heard you berate my hot husband, who's the greatest man I've ever known. Well, that's a nice compliment. Anyway, so Punk calls Seth a coward, but Becky says that Rollins is everything Punk isn't. And Becky's like, he's hot, he's jacked. And then Punk's like, you're delusional. And then Becky's like, it's like, well, he doesn't interrupt me. I bet. Don't interrupt Becky when she's... Anyway. She says, Punk, you're not the voice of the voiceless, but you're just a poster child for apathy. Yikes. And, she says these people didn't get her to the main event of WrestleMania because I did it myself, which she did. Goes on about how her and her hot husband are in the middle of a revolution. Then, Becky says, he's a visionary, a revolutionary, and Punk's like, shut up! And I'm the greatest ever, so you need to get out of my ring. And the fans are chanting for AJ Lee. Becky has to remind them that AJ doesn't work here anymore, technically. So Punk doesn't think much of that, but reminds her that 30,000 people think he's the best in the world. They chant his name no matter where he is or what he does. But I don't see you or your husband on all the recent live events. He says, your husband hides behind everyone, including you. You may be the man, but you married a bum. Ooh. I don't know about that. So anyway, Seth freaking Rollins comes out, and a nice little thingy from the Men's Warehouse, because when you go to the Men's Warehouse, you want to look like Seth Rollins, you want to look your best, go to the Men's Warehouse, tell them Peter Joseph sent you, and maybe, just maybe, some of you fat fucks out there, and some of you mediocre-looking people out there, you might go to the Men's Warehouse, you might get a discount, and maybe, just maybe, you might like the way you look, but they won't guarantee it. Ha! When I go, I get dressed to the thrills. I look good. Not now, but when I go out partying, of course. But even if I was wearing a Call of Duty Ops 4 Black Eagle, what is this? Yeah, Black Ops 4 shirt, I still look good, even with glasses on. Well, I don't wear my glasses when I go out. These are my reading glasses, so I have a little problem with my eyes. I can't see, I think I'm nearsighted. I don't know. I might be. I might have to go to an eye doctor and just get my eyes checked again. Because I gotta see if I'm not farsighted, because, look, when I take I'm gonna do an experiment. When I take my glasses off, watch this. I'm looking at the screen, it's a little bit blurry. But when I look this way, I'm looking at my expensive TV, I can see perfectly. I can see everything in my house perfectly. I can see my camera perfectly. But when I have the camera, I'll use my phone. When I have it like this, see, I can barely see the time. See, I can look. I'm like, what time is it? Huh? I can barely see it, so I have to wear my reading glasses. So, it's not a thing that, I'm getting old, I'm getting glaucoma or some shit. I might be, I don't know, I hope not, but but it is what it is. Rosa uses reading glasses when she reads, and, on occasion. She uses her phone and all that shit, but... So don't make fun of me because I have glasses on. Hey, you're a 4-8 schmuck! Well, you have glasses too, and you look worse than me with glasses on. So, fuck you! Alright, so Seth freaking Rollins comes out. Punk tries to go after him. Goes around, he comes up on the stage. Punk goes around Becky. Rollins then leaves. Real quick, he came out and bye! So, Becky gets in some slaps. It's like, BAM! Not like the Jimmy Uso Walter slap. Woo, that was a slap. But she slaps him in the face a couple times. He's like, ah! Come on, Punk, you are pathetic! And then Punk turns around and says, your husband is going to regret cashing in on me, and you're going to regret messing and hitting me. Damn. So you know what that means. So, Punk is teasing, which I'll get to, let me get to that in a minute. So, the first part of the segment was great. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Part 2, after the break, Punk is leaving the building, and he gets cut up by Adam Pearce, and, who tells him that, Rollins left the building, And then Punk's like, where's SmackDown going to be this week? And Pierce says, Chicago, your hometown. So Punk's like, So I assume Punk's going to be in Chicago, but will he be coming alone? Is AJ going to be there? We don't know. I mean, ESPN wants to have a big presentation. They're going to have Brock Lesnar, but will they have AJ? That remains the question. I don't think, if she's not there, I think the fans will be disappointed, but it's only up to AJ, who's working on her mental health, so we'll see Friday. But I said in chats and I said in Discord things with Issa in the group, I said I think AJ's coming back at the Royal Rumble. And they're going to do Punk and Nikki versus Seth and Becky, which will suck. Especially for the first ESPN pay-per-view. And then, but then you were thinking Punk and Rhea, Mommy Rhea Ripley. Then you have Mommy and Asuka to worry about. So it's kind of like, what do you do? So we'll see what happens Friday night in Chicago. Basically, Punk and AJ Lee's hometown. So probably have some type of segment there, or Punk just comes out and he talks about his hot wife, and then next thing you know, we hear light it up, light it up. AJ's theme, she comes out, skippy, 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 down to the ring, and then she gets on the mic and says, Becky, I'm gonna break you. Or so, she's gonna shoot on Becky somehow, and then the fans are gonna go berserk. And then for the next 2 weeks, we got a good build. But then again, knowing WWE and how they fuck things up, they might fuck this whole big thing for WrestlePalooza up on ESPN. But we shall see. Alright, so I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, main event time, ladies and gentlemen. We got Jey Uso and Eli Drake. They come out to take on B&B Security, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker by themselves. Big brawl to start. Bronson drops Eli with a big headbutt. And Braun Breaker works on Jimmy Uso's bad ribs. He takes the adhesive tape off. Ow! If we go to break and come back, the ribs still in trouble, but Jay gets the hot tag to Eli in Kling's house until Braun Breaker distracts him with Eli being sent to the outside for a whip into the steel steps. Ow! And then the fans start chanting for Roman Reigns! As Eli is taken back inside for an overhead belly to belly. That was pretty damn nice. Eli fights his way up, but Braun pulls him down with a 1905 chin lock. And then they get back up. Bronson Reed charges into an elbow in the corner, which allows Eli to knock him down. Gets the hot tag to Jey Uso. Comes in and cleans house. Yeet! Including the running Maga attack to Braun Breaker in the corner. Hits the spear on Braun, and then goes up top for the Superfly Splash, but gets broken up. Bronson Reed takes Eli down on the floor, and Jay comes back in, and Braun hits that crazy super spear of his, and pins him 1, 2, 3 in exactly 14 minutes. Match was pretty good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. And then after the match, once again, B&B Security destroy Jey Uso, leave him laying until his brother Jimmy Uso comes in and kind of clears the ring and kind of consoles his brother Jay, who's probably got 6 million broken ribs. And we got that. Alright, so not a bad Raw after Clash in Paris. And now we're back in the States for SmackDown from Chicago, Illinois on Friday. We shall see what happens with that. And we move on. So, they could do Jimmy and Jay reuniting as the Usos to team up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And then see what happens after WrestlePalooza with Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel, they probably could do something like Seth Rollins versus Punk again. It's like the 3rd time. with a fourth time, whatever it may be. Maybe Punk wins the title back at Crown Jewel, and then, I mean, we'll see what happens with there. But I could probably see something like, for War Games, we could have something like Roman, the Usos, maybe Eli Drake, maybe, and Punk against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, and then 2 other people. Who that might be Solo, might be, I don't know. But that's what I think the Roman team will be. Roman, the Usos, Punk, maybe Eli, or throw Sammy in there against Solo's team or Seth's team. It's going to be weird. It's just going to be like, we'll see. And then on the women's side, I don't know. Maybe a team with Tiffany Stratton leading a team against maybe Nia Jax's team or Jade's team. Not Jade, sorry. We'll see. I think Tiffany Stratton will lead a team, or at least be on the women's War Games team. But we'll see. I could see EO there, because it could be Tiffany Stratton, EO on a team, and then you have Asuka and Kairi with Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and maybe Nia Jax. I think put Charlotte and Lexi maybe in the cage too, but I don't know, it's going to be weird. But we're not in November yet, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my video. Thanks for watching Raw. It was like this. So, I'm going to give it a standard 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section, and what, like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I'm going to go grab a little bit of lunch, and then I'll be right back on my Peter Joseph channel with your actually on this channel, sorry, with your TNA review. Do a little quick review of TNA. Then later, after NXT, we'll talk about Death Before Dishonor from Ring of Honor. I've got to catch up with Ring of Honor, because I didn't do Ring of Honor this week because of Death Before Dishonor, but it will be back later this week with that. And then maybe later after that, we'll do Collision. But then again, we could do it maybe tomorrow, because I do have to go to the doctor tomorrow, so I have a half day of work tomorrow. And then I gotta go to the psychiatrist. I gotta go to physical therapy, and then pretty much after that, I can come back and do the NFL preview, which shouldn't be that long. NXT review, and then if I have some time, I'll do a Collision review going into Dynamite. And then we'll hopefully be back on a normal schedule. But like I said, if the reviews come a day or two later, don't blame me. It's just, I'm just tired from working and all the other stuff I gotta do. Because I have a life, unlike certain people I know. But it is what it is. Alright, so, once again, 7 out of 10 stars for Raw. I thought it was a pretty decent show. And we'll see what happens Friday night on SmackDown. Will AJ Lee be there? We don't know. Will Beastie be there? We don't know. Will John Cena will be there. And Punky Brewster will be there in his hometown. So it should be an amazing SmackDown this Friday night on the USA Network. But tonight, we got on the CW11 NXT. So it should be a great show. Dark State taking on... who they taking on? Taking on Hank and Spank. And I think Oba and Ricky Starks. So that should be an interesting 8-man tag team match. Not looking forward to that, but, we'll see what happens with that. And more with the NXT Women's Championship with Jacy Jayne and Lola Faces. And a whole lot more tonight on NXT. So we got that. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.